welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name is Charlotte.
And I'm Gabi.
And with 8 seats, great safety ratings, and all of your favorite technology, it's no wonder that the Kia Telluride is such a great family hauler. So what vehicle do we have with us?
Today we got the 2025 Kia Telluride in the EX trim level, which is actually the entry trim for the Kia Telluride. Now, this is going to be, of course, your lowest MSRP on this model, one of the highest seat options, so we still get 8 seats in this model with a ton of capacity. Charlotte and I are going to do a full walkthrough of everything that you get in this entry trim. And again, if there's anything you want more on top of that, there's a whole bunch of other trim options to choose from.
So and we've done a video on them.
All right, so shall we get into it, Char?
I think that we should. Before we do it, I'll just let you guys know what the MSRP of this vehicle is. Now, keep in mind, we are located here in Canada, so it's going to be in Canadian dollars, and it's before all fees and taxes, and the MSRP is $50,995. Now, these videos are also done live, so if you have any questions, use that live chat, put them there, we'll answer them for you, and if you're watching this after it's already posted and still have questions, leave them down below as a regular posted comment.
Should we get into it?
Let's go, and subscribe.
Yes,
okay, let's go.
Subscribe. So we'll first start off with the exterior walkthrough. We'll talk about the safety functions, the powertrain, and of course the styling of the Telluride. Now, it may be the very last model year for this specific Telluride. I'm talking this style, this technology, and these powertrain options. Now for the EX model on the front end, you'll already notice we have full LED headlamps. So we'll take a quick look at them a little bit closer. You'll see that your daytime running lights are going to be showcased in amber. So those are nice bright orange LEDs. And then our positioning lights and main headlamp will be a bright white LED. Great thing about LEDs, they last longer, they shine bright like a diamond, and you also have automatic high beam assist. So that means that if you got your high beams on and another car comes in opposing traffic from you, it will shut them off temporarily and then bring them right back on again. You also get fog lamps. So fog lamps aren't exactly something that we see too often, and I realize they're off. We'll get them on for you guys. But fog lamps we don't exactly see in the entry models of our vehicles all the time, so very exciting to have them included on the Telluride. All right, let me get those on, and while I'm at it, I'll also pop the hood because we'll dig into the powertrain next. Fog lamps on, fog lamps off. So 2 rectangular fog lamps on each side, nicely stacked on top of each other. Fog lamps, of course, add to the styling of the vehicle a little bit, but they're also very, very handy. Especially in Canada, we get a good amount of fog in this like springtime, fall time seasonal changes, so super handy to have. On the topic of safety, this vehicle packs a huge punch with a lot of standard tech. So right in the very center of our front end, we have this rectangular radar plate. Now this radar plate gives you a couple different things. Number 1 is going to be navigation-based smart cruise control. So in our head unit, spoiler alert, we have integrated nav. What that does to your cruise control is your vehicle is going to know the speed limit of the road that you're on. So here in Ontario, if you're on a 400 series highway where the speed limit may change, it will adapt to those changes automatically, or you can shut that function off if you're not a fan of it. What it will also do is slow down your vehicle to the current traffic situation. So if you hit stop and go, your vehicle will slow down to a complete halt and then bring you right back up to speed again. You as the driver can also change your following distance, so whether you want it to be 4 car lengths or less, there is a button on your steering wheel to select and change your following distance. And you also have our steering assistance on top of that. So essentially what that means is with that radar cruise control plate and with the camera mounted in the center of your windscreen, this vehicle will not only keep you at a safe distance, but also steer you so you're always centered in your lane. It's not a full self-drive, of course, but it's pretty darn handy to have. All right, next we'll talk about powertrain, and then I'll talk about the badging on the vehicle as well. So all trim levels of the current generation Telluride feature a 3.8-liter V6. Naturally aspirated V6, it produces 291 horsepower with 262 pound-feet of torque. This is also one of our most capable vehicles for towing. So if you are planning on towing with the EX trim specifically, it's a 5,000 pound towing capacity. If you hop over to the Telluride X Pro, you actually amp that up to 5,500 pounds, so an extra 500 pound towing capacity difference. For transmission, it's an 8-speed regular automatic, so smooth shifting automatic. There's no dual clutch transmission, no CVT, just a nice torque converter and 8 smooth gears. So great to have there. On the topic of efficiency, it's no surprise that the V6 is not our most efficient vehicle, but it's rated at 11.7 liters per 100 kilometers combined, so that is not too bad. Of course, on the highway, it will perform better, and also depending on how heavy your foot is. So if you're a little bit sensitive, or a little bit lighter on the throttle, it will respond better. For wheels, we have beautiful 20-inch alloys. These are exclusive to the X-Line model, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I think these are actually one of my favorite alloy designs for the Telluride. I love that they're machine finished. You get a nice amount of gloss black, not too much where your wheels always look dirty, and then some nice light elements to match it up. For your tire, it's just a regular all-season Michelin tire, and we do have all-wheel drive standard on the Telluride here in Canada. Now, our Telluride system, all-wheel drive system, is a nice one. So it does have biased front-wheel drive. So if it's a regular sunny day, the pavement's nice and dry, your vehicle will largely be a front-wheel drive vehicle. Now, if you're launching it from a standstill or you turn onto a gravel road, muddy road, that kind of thing, it'll incorporate more power to the rear, so you always have a proper amount of traction. You do also have terrain modes featured in this vehicle. So that's going to be a dial inside the cabin that allows you to put the vehicle in mud mode, snow mode, and sand mode, each of which will redistribute the torque automatically to the presets for those terrain settings and give you a little bit more wheel slippage if needed or minimize wheel slip. For your brakes, you have larger brakes up at the front, they're ventilated disc brakes, and you have solid disc brakes in the rear. Surrounding your wheels, there's a tiny bit of black plastic cladding, not too much where it looks like armor all over your vehicle, just a nice tasteful approach. Another thing I love about the Telluride, it definitely has a bit more of a truck-like appeal, especially if you're comparing this to the Hyundai competitor, the Palisade. The Palisade looks a little bit more like a stylish SUV. This one looks a little bit more rugged, but it still rides like a smooth SUV. You get a sound-reducing windshield, which really makes it a nice quiet experience in the cabin, and more tech functions like LED turn signal indicators, blind spot detection, electronically controlled mirrors that are also heated, of course, and a little bit of black plastic on the mirrors just to kind of break up that all-white look if you're opting for the white exterior paint. For more comfort, our doors have automatic proximity doors.
Yeah, they do.
So what this means is essentially,
you're so right.
As long as the key's on you, you press this little button here, it'll unlock the door for you, and then exit the vehicle, press it again, it locks it for you. Sorry guys, I feel kind of out of it. Feels like it's been forever since we've done a live stream. For the beltline of the vehicle, there's a nice brushed chrome here, and then some solid or gloss black for your pillars. Your roof rails are also finished in that same satin finish, and then you'll also see it on top of your window pillars and your C-pillar area. Coming along to the rear, LED tail lamps, a nice spoiler. Unfortunately, the spoiler does not house the rear wiper, but I am expecting that to change for the next gen of the Telluride. You do get a high-mounted stop lamp, of course a heated windscreen back here. And then for your tail lamps, I already mentioned they're LEDs, but cool design. They integrate themselves a little bit into the actual hatch, and you get a smart power lift gate on the EX model. So no reason to upgrade if this is something that is a must-have for you. It's height adjustable as well. Very nice to have. For your back row, we do have the third row down right now, so we have about 1,300 liters of cargo space with the third row folded down. Now, if you got to bring them up, it drops it to about 600. It may not look like 600 liters, but there is actually quite a good amount of usable space here. Fun fact, Charlotte, Pat, and our families, sorry, I got to sit down for the story time. We all went, I think it was to LA 2 years ago. We had a lot of luggage. We do not pack light, and we had almost every seat in the house filled up. It still fit all of our luggage in the Telluride. So, not saying it's the perfect airport shuttle vehicle,
but it's actually definitely doable.
But it is. That it is. So super handy, lots of usable space, even though it may not look like it at first. Now I'm just going to quickly lift this cargo floor here. You'll see you have even more extra space down here, so all covered space. There is a spare tire with this vehicle. Now the spare itself is actually located underneath. Sorry, Charlotte, making you do the work today.
It's okay, I'll bend down while I still can.
Okay. So yes, temporary compact spare underneath the vehicle. For exhaust, you have a single side exit exhaust on the EX model. You'll get a twin tip on all trim levels above. Along the back, we also have rear parking sensors standard on the Telluride. So these are going to be your proximity ultrasonic sensors. Look like little circular buttons along the back bumper. And that, of course, will beep at you whenever you approach something. So if I'm reversing this car into this garage door, it'll beep at me to try to get me to avoid doing that. Now, another great thing this vehicle has in terms of the safety department is going to be rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist. That is an absolute mouthful, but it is a great function to have. Essentially, with such a big vehicle like this, even if, or especially if you have all seats filled up with heads, people constantly moving, it's kind of hard to see if there's anybody walking behind your vehicle when you're reversing out of a parking lot, especially if there's two cars beside you. So what that function does, it'll sense movement, warn you as the driver, and then automatically brake for you if it senses you might hit something or someone. So super great to have. Last thing I'll touch on for the exterior is going to be the fuel tank. So it's a 71-liter tank. It's a push-style door. So as long as the vehicle is unlocked, you just push on the fuel door, opens up for you. 71 liters, regular unleaded fuel is fine, so 87 grade octane. And again, it's rated at 11.7 liters per 100 kilometers combined. I realized I didn't talk about the styling on the front, so maybe we'll quickly do that, and then Charlotte will take over on the interior. So
DTUK asked, are those strobing rear taillights? No, it's just because they're LEDs, so they do sometimes flicker a little bit on camera.
Yeah. Again, headlamp design, a little bit more of that satin chrome surrounding your grille. On other trim levels, more specifically the X-Line and above, this is actually all blacked out. So if you do really appreciate a blacked out look and you want a Telluride, check out those. Your Kia emblem is in a nice brushed aluminum, and then you do have some black insert for the grille.
Looks like chains.
The lower portion also has a repeat of that satin chrome finish. Again, those are the fog lamps, like I mentioned. A lot of lines here, so straight lines, vertical. Again, all things that kind of add to that truck-like appearance of the front end. This is a very off-road-esque looking vehicle compared to, again, the Palisade, which looks a little bit more city sleek. So whatever your preference for aesthetic is, there's a vehicle for that. Now, Charlotte will take over on the interior where we get a lot of luxury and a lot of tech.
Awesome. All right, so let's hop inside. If you guys have been watching the Kia Hyundai channel for a while, you know that the Telluride is probably one of my favorite vehicles that we offer and something that I would love to get my hands on to demo. It's probably not going to happen for right now, but that's okay. It's because, you know, there's so many other people out there who don't want them. But let's take a look at some of the details and I'll let you guys know about some of my favorite elements. Okay, so let's first off start by talking about the driver's side door. You'll notice that we have a good mix of elements, some chrome. We also have some wood grain trim, which is going to continue along the dash. For our mirrors, they're power folding and electronically adjustable. All of our windows are one touch and pinch protected, so no one is getting any pinched fingers, and it's going to be super easy to raise and lower them too. On our speaker system, instead of it being the premium sound system and this being left blank, you'll notice that it does have some Telluride embossing in it, which I think is a nice touch. It just makes it feel a little bit more luxe on the interior.
What kind of sound system are you running? Telluride.
Yeah, my favorite. Meridian? No. Harman Kardon? No. Kia Telluride.
Yes.
Down below, you still have a storage compartment and a bottle holder. And another thing that I like about the Telluride is the fact that it is standard with powered seats, including lumbar support. So you can see that you're able to bring it forward. You can adjust the height. Of course, you're able to adjust your backrest. And then also that lumbar support, like I said, so two-way lumbar support for our driver. On this side, we have some vents too, our brightness adjuster, downhill braking assist, tailgate control, and of course your traction control. All right, do you want to come around?
For sure. Charlotte, do you want to hit the hazards?
I'll put them on.
Okay. So hazard lights and of course your turn signal indicators. So there's your amber. And then we got our mirror indicators as well. And I'll quickly show you guys what our taillights look like in action. So there are your marker lights. I know a lot of you guys hate to see them lower on the vehicle, but we got them up high. It's very nice. All right, let's head in. And again, LEDs always look a little strange on camera. I believe it's just because the way the light moves, how quick it is, the camera can't exactly pick it up. I think it's something like that.
For the LED taillights?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. Now, our lights turned off in the video bay because Tim's bike has been blocking them for about a week now. Thanks, Tim.
Bought a bike, doesn't ride it.
But it's okay because we have LED interior lights on the Telluride as well, so I popped those on. Hopefully you can still see everything that we're pointing out. But the nice thing is that everything is backlit too. Now, when it comes to the passenger seat, so we do have a synthetic leatherette. It's black. You do have a manual passenger seat as well. So only the driver is the one who gets the looks of the power seat, of course. But as you step into the cabin, you can also get your first look at that full effect that the wood grain trim really has. And again, this is a super rugged vehicle on the outside. It's nice to bring those elements onto the interior in different ways. So a little bit more of that off-roady feel, even though it's not an off-road vehicle. It's a nice luxe SUV. Ahead of me, steering wheel, of course. We've got some extra spoking on it too with some piano black design and some contrast gray stitching. Kia logo in the center, and we have a split between our media controls with our virtual assistant and calling, and then our driving controls. So from here, we can go and adjust that cruise control that Gabby spoke about on the front of the vehicle from the touch of a button, and then also adjust the specifics of it for your lane centering systems and following distance too. Using this notes icon, if I press down, I'm able to cycle between this 4.2-inch screen in the center, and from here I can see my drive info. I can also see my turn-by-turn navigation from the integrated navigation, tire pressure, and power distribution for when the rear kicks in. Then, of course, general safety settings. We do have a digital speedometer and tachometer, but these aren't, although they are digitized, they're not fully digitized in the way that this screen is, and you're able to cycle between it. But the theme will change as we switch up the different drive modes, which I think is really cool and fun. Also, this vehicle has not been PDI'd, so it was still in shipping mode. It's got no gas in it, so
Those dots
great.
mean
You got no gas.
to be determined.
You got no gas. Actually, I've driven my car too, unfortunately, though. I was trying to see how, if anyone has seen Seinfeld, you're trying to see how far you can drive your friend's car free. Yeah. All right, over here for our multimedia unit, it's a 10.25-inch screen. You can see the type of software that we're operating with a little hint of the navigation where we're located too. So map and nav menu are all located here. You have a wired connection for your phone projection, so Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then from here, you can also control your climate screen. The nice thing is that this actually has multi-zone climate control, so the front and the rear climate are going to have their own climate settings, and everything is lockable from the front. Lock that in, lockable from the front, in case you have young kids back there that you don't want accessing it. We also have handy features like quiet mode, which is going to dampen the rear speakers, but you can still listen to your media up front. And if you want to adjust any of those active safety features that Gabby mentioned, you're going to do so by accessing the driver's assistance, and then from here you can go into the applicable menu. So there's obviously a lot of active safety on this vehicle on the exterior. Let's talk about what we have on the interior. You're going to see standard features like safe exit assist. You also have a rear occupant alert. It's not on right now, but basically, actually, let me turn this off real quick, and then it is on right now, but I want it to show up. But right here, for the 6 seats that are in the second and third row, it's going to illuminate depending on which seatbelt is in use and which one isn't. That way you know who's buckled up back there and who isn't.
Who's lying?
If you do leave anything back there and you open up the rear door and then get into the driver's seat, drive, and then get out without reopening the rear door, it will also give you an alert on your dash saying, hey, check those rear seats, make sure you're not leaving anything or anyone back there, which is very handy. But what happens if there is a collision? You said that this has great safety. It does. Active safety on the exterior, but if something happens, you want to be prepared for it, which is why I'm super happy to say that the IIHS rates this as their top safety pick. Plus, should a collision happen, with its 9 airbags, and the NHTSA rates it 5 stars in the event of a collision. I'm a mom, so I'm amped up about safety. Yeah! Okay. Anyways.
And it tells you who's not wearing the seatbelt.
It just gets better. Okay.
I can't stop.
Standard. I can't stop winning. Yeah. All right. I also love how the Telluride is set up because you've got real buttons, you've got real dials. You're not reinventing the wheel here. Everything does as it says. Woo. Here's the dual climate control that I mentioned, and then there's going to be that third controller in the rear too, but this is all straightforward. Adjust your fan speed, adjust your fan direction. Heated seats for myself and Gabby, wireless phone charger. You have a 12-volt USB for your connectivity and a USB-C. If you don't like how that looks, you can go and tuck this in. This is piano black. There's a sticker on it, though. I'm going to leave that for right now. It's fine.
Wait, I need to know what it looks like without the sticker.
It's piano black. Okay. This is a really great cinematic shot of my gnarly nails trying to peel this sticker off. Ask and you shall receive. ASMR.
The last time it's ever going to look clean.
Yeah, first and last. 2 cup holders, little compartment for your keys. And then here's the dial with your drive and terrain mode. So Gabby explained these on the exterior. To cycle between them, you literally just turn the dial. It's not rocket science. Press down for terrain modes, and then again, cycle between them. Over here is going to be some more driving control. So you have your idle, stop, and go. If you'd like to turn that off, simply press down. And this is a feature that temporarily shuts off the engine when you bring the vehicle to a stop and then turns it back on as you put your foot on the gas. Auto hold as well. Again, it's going to allow you to hold the vehicle at a complete stop, and you can take your foot off the brake when you do bring it to that stop. And then as you put your foot back on the gas, again, it's going to re-engage. Electronic parking brake with that, and your parking sensors too. In here, you have a USB-C, again for charging. You have a little not rooftop, I don't know why I said
Upstairs.
that. Upstairs storage, downstairs storage, and lots of hidden storage, actually. It's quite nice. Your mirror, it is a auto-dimming mirror with home link, the capacity for that, high in the mirror. And you got sunglass holders still.
This
Nice.
is something
This looks.
none of our other vehicles have.
No, it's really gone away with, unfortunately. We also have a power sunroof, so you can see that this is right here. And Kia Connect is going to be a standard feature too, which is Kia's telematics system, so that's smartphone integration for starting up your vehicle. I will quickly turn the vehicle on just to show you the rear view camera. It automatically comes up as the vehicle is put in reverse, and you can also see when your backup sensors are going to be at work. You have a top-down viewpoint as well. If you are towing, that's especially handy. Okay, that's enough running fumes inside. Let's take a look at the second row and the third row.
Nice solid door handle. You guys know I love that.
So 8-seater configuration, which is definitely something to write home about. I love the fact that we have a bench seat here. It is a 60-40 split. And for some amenities, we have hooks and USB-Cs on the sides, on the rear of both seats. We have pockets, another set of cup holders, household outlet, 12-volt as well. And then up top is going to be more of that climate control that I mentioned. So the second set of climate control. You also have these diffusing rooftop mounted air vents, which is really nice if you have kids in car seats. And just for overall directing the flow of AC, like it's definitely easier using these ones than the mounted in the second row center console. You also have drop down armrest, cup holders as well. 2 sets of lower latch anchors too, so car seat compatible. Child locks on. Love that for me.
I'll let you out.
Thank you. I was gonna say, do you want to see how easy it is to get out? Guys, the child lock works great. If I can say that, take that away from this video. Now, to access the third row, to get back here, there's actually multiple ways that you can do it. You'll notice that there's a button down here, so if you're a little shorter, or if you're a little taller or sitting in the third row and need to bring this forward, you can. Now, these seats are also on a rail system, meaning you can adjust the amount of legroom and the recline too. So from here, I'm able to hop into the back seat of the Telluride. You also notice that there's 3 sets of anchors for car seats too. Or top tethers, I'll say.
Where did she go? I'm gonna go on the other side.
Okay, that's probably easier.
Can you guys tell this is a live car review? You get all the exciting footage.
Of Gabby walking around. So this is what we're working with in the legroom situation. Now keep in mind, this is the minimum amount of legroom. These can move forward, like I said, a little bit on that rail system. For amenities, I like how back here I still have speakers. I've got cup holders. I've got seatbelt clips. I have USB-Cs. There's 2 USB-Cs. Sorry, there's not a speaker back here. I said that wrong. But I also get my own set of air vents. Nice. Third row air vents. Something the Kia Sorento does not have.
And ultrasonic.
Ultrasonic for your rear occupant alert. So not only will it give you that alert on the dash, this actually is capable of detecting motion back here. So if there is motion back here when the vehicle is turned off and locked, if it senses that, it's actually going to send you an alert to your phone through Kia Connect. And if you don't do anything about that and it detects that motion for like 10-15 minutes, it actually is capable of setting off the panic button to force you to pay attention to it. I told you, we're not leaving anyone or anything in the back of the Telluride. So cool fun feature. This is actually a 3-row back here. I know it doesn't look like it. This is a pretty skinny seat. You're gonna want to put your skinny-licious friends back here for sure. And it is a rooftop mounted.
My child.
Yeah.
My child is my skinny-licious friend.
Yeah, she goes back here. You do have a rooftop mounted seatbelt. Yeah. And then you can go and adjust the headrest too. Okay, I'll come out now.
But there's actually quite a bit of space to get out and a little bit of a
It's
step.
wide, eh?
Yeah, it is wide. It doesn't look that great on camera, but
So
in
if
person,
you're pregnant and have difficulty moving, it's me. There's also grips here, so there's actually a handle. So I can actually hold that, brace myself, and then get down. Didn't I make that look so easy?
effortless.
Effortless.
So there's kind of hard to see, but there is the grip Charlotte's talking about, so a good handle spot. You also have your handles here too to help stabilize yourself. And then of course your up top handles as well, with a little bit of a hook for jackets or whatever you need. All right. Let's answer some questions.
Let's answer some questions.
So again, this was the entry trim level of the Telluride. So if you're looking for an 8-seater SUV, you need all-wheel drive. I think this is an amazing entry car. You could tell me this is a mid-trim and I would believe you. It's just packed with so much. So it's a very impressive trim level.
There's a lot going on for sure. Someone said there was a handle right in front of you. Yes, that was the additional handle. But there's multiple. There's multiple, guys. Anyways, the bear.
I saw someone comment Teddy has been drinking.
He's having a rough Monday, okay?
He's just sad that he got replaced.
Aren't we all? Any updates on the 2026 Sportage? Actually, yes. The vehicle pricing and ordering guide, although pricing hasn't been released yet, has come out. So we actually filmed a video on that, which should be going up tomorrow.
In terms of comfort, how does it compare to the Sorento? So as far as comfort features go, depending on what trim level you're looking at, you can pretty much get them with the same comfort features. Now, for long drives and space, the Telluride is going to be a little bit more superior, right? Mm-hmm. So you will have more room in the third row in the Telluride than you would in the Sorento. But also powertrain-wise, the Telluride is a little bit of a smoother car just due to the fact that it's a naturally aspirated engine. The power is just a little bit more linear and smooth. Same thing with the transmission. The Sorento, if you're going for the turbo, which is where you get a good amount of power, it's going to feel a little bit choppy, especially at lower speeds, just because it is a dual clutch, but it also might give you a bigger smile because of its increased power. It is going to feel a little bit sportier, a little bit more fun to drive. This will be a smoother drive, though. Using the baby pump as a laptop shelf.
Bro, I got to. It gets really bad when it can be used as a table. So you know the end is near. Can tell the detailers are back, yes, and not a day too early. Thank goodness. We miss Curtis.
What is the real world fuel economy for the EX trim? How does it compare to its EPA estimate city, highway, and combined driving? So I think pretty much all of our vehicles, I think they're pretty fair and very realistic. Yeah. The biggest thing is really how you drive, because this vehicle can be a bit more forgiving than what it's rated for. I know that. If you're a little bit more sensitive with your car, you're not launching it at every green light, you could see better numbers for sure. Another thing is, depending on what your daily drive is like, if you're driving this vehicle to and from work every day and your drive is largely highway, your vehicle is going to read better in the fuel efficiency department for sure. Same thing with your range. So when you fill up your tank, you may notice that you got a little bit more of a longer estimated range compared to someone who's doing city driving every single day.
Has the wait time for hybrid Sportage gone down? No. Not really. It could potentially this year, but I don't see that really being too likely. It's still definitely something that you have to order, and it's gonna be some time before we see regular stock. It's still gonna be a wait. We need hybrids. We're hoping to get a Telluride hybrid.
We're hoping to get some more information on that in the next 2 days.
In the next 2 days, we're hoping Wednesday to get some info that we can share with you guys.
Someone asked, how much will it cost to register the vehicle? So that really depends on
where you're from,
what your driver's abstract is as well too. If you have a colorful driving history, speed tickets, accidents, that kind of thing, insuring your vehicle is going to be more expensive. But the cost of the vehicle will also vary where you're from too. Taxes, trim level, that kind of thing.
To physically register the vehicle with Service Ontario in Ontario, it would either be $32 if you have existing plates or $57 if you are getting new plates. That will also depend on if you have, again, a colorful driver's abstract and maybe you have some unresolved parking tickets that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know that, let's say you're going to go buy a new vehicle, you're getting it registered at the dealership, they're getting your plates for you and everything. If you have outstanding fees, so parking tickets, 407 fines, that kind of thing, you have to pay it at the dealership or else you can't get it.
Yeah, or else like you can't pick up your car.
Yeah. It's not us, it's Service Ontario.
Yeah.
That are like, hey, they owe this much.
It's not us, it's actually you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Canadians pronounce car names differently. That we do. It's not just us in Canada, though. It's most people in the world. And the U.S.
Americans pronounce cars differently.
You guys are usually the odd ones out. But that's okay. Diversity is good. Kia announced pickup for North America 5 days ago. Any idea what year it's coming? I want to pick up as a second vehicle, and I'm trying to hold out. I don't think that's going to be announced this weekend. I think there's a possibility that would be announced officially in November. If it's more than likely it's gonna be an EV. I think LA is the market to debut that.
Yeah. I wonder if we can like bug people enough to like spill the beans and we can
probably.
We're really annoying.
We're so annoying.
We could probably.
You guys know you watch these videos.
Official people from Kia Hyundai see us and they run.
Yeah.
They go the other way.
But super excited about it. It's gonna be great.
I got asked about my Forte. Ryan already answered, but yes, I did sell my Forte, which I regret, but it's too late now.
Every time a Forte comes on the lot, Gabby's like, wait, should I buy it?
Should I buy it?
Like every time. We've had like 4 cycle through. Wait.
And someone else puts a deposit. I was like, oh, I was just about to do that.
What are you currently driving? So Gabby's got her Mazda B4000. It's really hot.
Sweet ride.
It's certified. I drive a Sorento X Pro.
TRD RAV4 said would totally buy the Rio. Yeah, we just had a super clean Rio come in. I was so convinced I should buy it. And then the day came that I was like, you know what? I'm going to film it and see if people think I should buy it. It was already sold. We'll get them next time, you guys. What kind of audio system comes standard in the EX? The Telluride audio system.
The Telluride. So just regular in-house audio system. If you go up, I believe to the SX Limited, is when you get the Harman Kardon Premium Sound System. It's also going to bump you up 2 more speakers, which is very nice to see. I believe you get 10. I can't quite remember that off the top of my head because numbers flee my brain. However, if you do want to do any upgrades, I actually think that upgrading your speaker system in your vehicle is one of the easier things to do in a vehicle that you can kind of DIY, but take that with a grain of salt, obviously.
Subs in the trunk.
Subs in the trunk.
Yes.
If you have a frunk, subs in the frunk.
Deke said, personally, I like the Hyundai Palisade better, and that's all right.
Yeah, mechanically, they're going to be the same.
Same car.
But totally different design-wise.
All right.
Alrighty, that's it.
Towing capacity 5,000 pounds on the EX.
Oh my goodness, hello.
That is all. Thank you guys. We hope to see you again for tomorrow's video, which is not alive.
It's pre-recorded, but if you haven't subscribed and turned on your post notifications, do that because we don't know what our day at the auto show is going to look like on Wednesday, and we don't want you guys to miss out in showing you what you want to see.
Yes. So we will let you guys know in advance if we are going live. Brantford Kia's Instagram most likely, but we'll also probably try to make a YouTube post, like a community post where you guys will see where we're live. Don't know if it's going to be a walkthrough of the Kia Hyundai exhibit or just kind of a sit down, talk about what we've seen so far.
And what you guys want us to film.
Maybe,
all right.
Maybe 2.
We will see you guys in New York.
Bye.